I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Thursday, December the 31st, 2015. An IDF soldier was lightly wounded today in the West Bank. The soldier, a member of the Givati Brigade, was hit by a car when a Palestinian driver deliberately ran into him while he was conducting security checks along the highway in the Palestinian town of Hawara, south of Nablus. His fellow soldiers shot and killed the terrorist, who was identified as 22-year-old Hassan Bazour from the village of Ramah outside Jenin. The soldier was taken to Beilinson Hospital at the Rabin Medical Center in Petah Tikva. Two Arab Israelis were indicted today for plotting a terror attack at the Rio Hotel in the southern resort town of Eilat. Khalil Nimri and Ashraf Saleiman, who worked at a different hotel in the city, were reportedly motivated by the death of one of their friends, Fadi Elon, who was killed by Israeli forces while carrying out a stabbing attack on October the 4th of this year. The two decided to blow up the Rio and were in the planning stages and had gone into the hotel last month to ask several questions about locations within the hotel, which raised the suspicion of its employees, who then contacted police, ultimately leading to their arrest and their indictment today. And it was cleared for publication today that 4 Arab Israelis from the West Bank town of Jaljulia were arrested last month for allegedly trafficking illegal weapons and for their involvement in riots this past October. The Israeli government yesterday approved a budget of $3.84 billion during a 5-year period to develop and improve the economy, housing, and education for the Israeli, Arab, and other minority communities in Israel. The plan, which passed unanimously, was presented by Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, as well as by Finance Minister Moshe Kahlon and Social Equality Minister Gila Gamliel, with an aim to, quote, advance a systematic and structural economic development plan for the minority sector. The Prime Minister called the plan a, quote, significant addition designed to assist minority populations and reduce societal gaps. It will focus on Israel's communities of Muslims, Druze, Christians, and Circassians. The Anti-Defamation League expressed its deep concern this week over a number of incidents targeting the Jewish community across the 5 boroughs of New York City. They all occurred over the last few months. The ADL said that since September, they have documented at least a dozen alleged anti-Semitic incidents, including most recently the violent assault of an Orthodox Jewish teenager in the Midwood section of Brooklyn just 3 days ago. The League's New York Regional Director Evan Bernstein said we must call attention to these attacks and do all we can together with NYPD, community and religious leaders, and our elected officials to stamp out these horrific incidents that leave our neighbors, friends, and family feeling vulnerable. A farmhouse said to be 2,700 years old was found during recent excavations near the town of Rosh Ha'ayin in central Israel. The Israel Antiquities Authority announced the find yesterday. The 24-room structure that was unearthed was built around a courtyard where archaeologists found remnants of ancient grain storage and production, as well as 2 silver coins dating from the 4th century BCE, which showed the image of the Greek goddess Athena. Archaeologists also found the ruins of a Byzantine monastery, which they believe was built at the site centuries after it was abandoned during the Hellenistic period. The Antiquities Authority is set to preserve the discoveries and open them to the public. Well, 2015 was a good year for Aliyah. Over 30,000 new immigrants arrived in Israel this year. This according to the statistics published by the Ministry of Immigrant Absorption and the Jewish Agency this week, which showed an increase in Aliyah of around 10% from 2014 and the highest number of arrivals since 2003. Almost 8,000 of the new immigrants came from France and about 7,000 from Ukraine. Israel's Minister for Aliyah and Absorption, Ze'ev Elkin, said, while we were all busy with day-to-day problems in Israel, we didn't pay attention to the most meaningful event this year, the number of Olim crossing the 30,000 mark for the first time in more than a decade. Elkin added, we must do everything we can in order to make the most of this wonderful window of opportunity and work on absorption and encouraging Aliyah so that we can bring even 50,000 to Israel. Britain's Royal Mail announced that it will issue a special stamp to honor Sir Nicholas Winton in March of 2016. The stamp will be part of a set of 6 paying tribute to British humanitarians. We had reported on this story earlier in the year as a campaign to honor the man known as the British Schindler was underway. The announcement of the timing and more details were just released this week. Winton helped rescue 669 children from Nazi-occupied Czechoslovakia. The UK's Jewish News, who reported the story, had launched a campaign several months ago to honor him with a commemorative stamp, which was also backed by the Holocaust Educational Trust, the Association of Jewish Refugees, and Sir Mick Davis, who had chaired David Cameron's Holocaust Commission. Winton died earlier this year at the age of 105. And looking now at our programming for tonight, Thursday, December the 31st on JBS. Coming up at 7 o'clock, Theodore Bickel's last performance at Kulturfest. At 8, the Brooklyn Jewish Hall of Fame Awards. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with comedian and actor Jackie Mason on L'chaim. And at 10 tonight, Avi Hoffman's still Jewish after all these years. And coming up right after this newscast tonight at 6:30, Harvard professor and author Dan Gilbert talks about happiness. And that's the JBS News Update for Thursday, December the 31st, 2015. I'm Teisha Bader, wishing you a very happy, healthy, and safe new year. I'll be back with the news on Monday. See you then.